Hola, 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 mi gente. Estamos aquí. We are here at the Puerto Rican Day Parade, and I am here loud and proud to rank Zohran Mamdani #1 for mayor of New York City.
What New Yorkers are looking for is a mayor who will actually fight for them.
I have so much faith in him as a leader for our city to move us forward because we share in the same values. We want a New York City for the working class.
Say, Zohran, repeat after me.
Okay, here we go.
Puerto Rico
Puerto Rico
no se vende.
no se vende. And what we want to do is turn the page on that era of failed leadership.
Make sure you vote early, June 14th, or you can vote on Election Day, June 24th. And make sure that you do not rank Andrew Cuomo on your ballot. Don't do it, folks.
Especially in a moment when we see immigrants under attack, we need to have a mayor that will stand up for every single New Yorker.
Zohran #1 for a New York City that can be affordable to all of us.
Okay, hold on. Let me get this straight. So you have a person like AOC, okay, at the Puerto Rican Day Parade. She's a known socialist, pandering to the Boricua crowd and everybody that's there at the parade in New York to advocate to vote for a socialist who's supposedly a progressive Muslim. Really? To be mayor of New York? Like if New York hasn't been in enough already. This is what's going on? Unbelievable. Here we go. Hey there, Patriots. This is True Outlaw Patriot coming at you with another one. This video that I'm putting together, I said I was going to put it out in another day or two, but I'm going to put it together today. I'm going to drop it, as you guys can see. You know, if you can see from my thumbnail and the title, you know, just when we think that there's a little bit of hope for New York, okay, and the residents of New York, obviously, okay, New York falls in line with the how can I say, the mafia influence when it comes to politics that's happening in Chicago. Here we are in New York. And I say that because even when I was growing up as a kid, okay, New York never really seen any breaks from anybody that was chosen to be mayor, governor, whatever the case is. Okay. Now we got AOC, who hasn't done a damn thing for New York. Not a damn thing. I don't care what anybody says. And I know a lot of people from New York are probably going to watch this video, and you're probably going to argue with me. I don't care. Show me something with substance. Anything. Any policies, anything that made life better for the average New Yorker. Never mind in her district, just for the average New Yorker. You won't find it. But now she's at the Puerto Rican Day Parade, okay, which is a very a very diverse parade when it comes to people going to going to check it out, okay. Basically advertising with some guy who, in all honesty, everybody knows I've kept my ear to the ground. I've never heard of this man. All of a sudden, he's pulling up Barack Obama, coming out of the woodwork, okay, as of recent, and all of a sudden, not according to this video, but to new polling as of today or yesterday, he's ranking first as far as the Democrat runner-up. What is going on in New York that the crime, the protest, the high taxes, and all that chaos, what is going on that enough people in New York are not going out and putting 5 different Republicans or conservatives on the damn ticket? All you see across the board is Democrats, leftists, progressives. That's all you see. And now this guy pops up, and all of a sudden, supposedly New York's darling is going to advertise for this man at the Puerto Rican Day Parade? Really? You know, I don't know I don't know when and where, in all honesty, the memo was cut short, that we have so many people from Latin American countries fleeing socialism, communism, dictatorships, what have you, to come to America just so those same communists and socialists embed themselves and they're taking over the political arena. And this is why I told so many people, and I've been saying it for the longest, be careful of the small votes. Okay? Your mayor, your governors, city officials, whatever it is, be careful of these votes, because this is how the left moves in, and by the time you know it, you've got 10 times worse than what New York is going through right now. Okay? Now we're gonna get into all this because there's a couple of clips I gotta play, and an article or two that I want to read real quick. Nothing long, but people, you need to understand. You need to go out there and force. Why is it that so many people on the left could go out and force and cause havoc with all these protests, and yet the Democrats and the leftists can still embed people when it comes to political power? It is just beyond me. But anyway, before I continue, don't forget, I want to thank all my new subscribers and all my subscribers here on YouTube and on Rumble. So don't forget to comment, like, share, subscribe, and pass the channel around. I'm going to play this clip. Right away, this guy has a beef with Donald Trump, with our president. Okay? Another one thrown into the mix and has nothing good to say about the president. But he sounds just like every damn talking head that's out there that's coming from the left. Check this out. Here we go.
Why wouldn't President Trump target you and, by extension, target New Yorkers? You have 1 minute.
President Trump will target whomever is the next mayor of this city. President Trump even targeted his, in many ways, accomplice, Mayor Eric Adams, who has collaborated with the Trump administration at almost every opportunity. And still, in the midst of that collaboration, we saw that New Yorkers are being taken off the streets in their apartment building lobbies. We have $80 million being taken out of our city bank account. So I don't think...
Okay, I'm gonna cut it right there. That's the new talking point, people, that I'm beginning to hear all over the mainstream media. That's what they're saying now. That Donald Trump is taking Americans off the street. Illegal immigrants are not Americans. And this is going to be the new spin. Okay? Yet we begin over these past few days, this past week, with all the protests that was going on, that's all you was hearing from people in the crowd. They're taking Americans off the street. They're kidnapping Americans off the street. No Americans are being kidnapped, number one. Well, I should say in this context. Okay, from what's going on. Number two, again, illegal immigrants that came in here illegally are not Americans. Because if they were, they wouldn't be getting deported. Let's continue.
Think there's any question that there's any mayor here that will be free from being attacked by Donald Trump. What's more important, however, is that we have a mayor who will actually fight back. And that's what I will do. I am Donald Trump's worst nightmare as a progressive Muslim immigrant who actually fights for the things that I believe in. And the difference between myself and Andrew Cuomo is that my campaign is not funded by the very billionaires who put Donald Trump in D.C. I don't have to pick up the phone from Bill Ackman or Ken Langone. I have to pick up the phone for the more than 20,000 New Yorkers who contributed an average donation of about $80 to break fundraising records and put our campaign in second place.
Okay, okay, now I'm going to stop it right there. Because now you're going to hear from Cuomo with a rebuttal, and I don't want to listen to that. But you heard everything this man just said. Did anybody read between the lines on that? Never mind him bashing Trump and whatever the case is. Never mind all that. How is it that in a city of 8 million people, okay, all walks of life, different political views, how is it that he just said the quiet part out loud? How is it that 20,000 voters were able to put this man on the top of the ticket? To put his campaign on the top of the ticket? I mean, you know, if he came out and said 2 million people voted in, then you could say, okay, 2 million out of 8 million, okay, but just 20,000? Do I not tell you that the politics in New York are so damn corrupt? You know, a lot of people are saying that Curtis Sliwa, they want him to run on the Republican ticket. Okay? I can guarantee you, in just the area that he lives, he can probably get 20,000 votes. How is it that this man is on the top of the ticket, a no-name, never in the spotlight? At least, like I said, you people know my channel. This is all I do. Everything I do is about the news. If it ain't from New York, it's Chicago, California, wherever it is. Whatever politician. I've never heard of this man. And all of a sudden, just like Barack Hussein Obama, somebody pulled him out their ass, and he's already up there talking about, you know what? We're on the top of the ticket. First, no, here he said second. But as of today, no, they're saying he's surging in first. It's like, how? How in the world? You know, it's so aggravating. Like I said, just when you think that New York has a chance, everybody is falling asleep. Everybody, once again, is complacent. First of all, let me go. For editing time on this right here, I just want to show something real quick. And it has to deal with this woman right here. I cannot stand this woman. Okay? And I got to be careful how I say it but she put this out 4 days, 4 days ago. Okay? She did an interview on Democracy Now! There's no such thing as democracy when it comes to this. But anyway, whatever. It's all bullshit. Listen to what this woman has to say. And this is why I tell people, you need to pay attention and not let these people in. Everybody knows who Ilhan Omar is. Everybody knows what she's done in Minnesota. Everybody knows how she pledged her allegiance to the Somalian president. Okay, not the American president, the Somalian president. But listen to, she says something specific here that everybody needs to understand. This is how they get in. Okay, and this guy in New York, that he's saying he's a Muslim progressive, that is all just titles in order to get people's votes. I guarantee you, this man is going to be way worse than New York has ever seen. And there's reasons that I'll show you. But let's listen to what she has to say.
Looks like my journey from refugee to Congresswoman.
We are...
Okay, you heard what they said. That's the name of her book, Her Journey from Refugee to Congresswoman.
In the midst of the creation of a police state, where you have masked, armed men who are in plain clothes that are snatching people off the streets, unwilling to identify themselves. You have the military being deployed in our streets. My God, this is America.
Yeah.
You have states' rights being disregarded. So, a constitutional crisis that's being created in front of our eyes. And the same week where we have a president who has deployed the military, who are trained to kill our enemies, not Americans, but our enemies, are in our streets. It's the same week that we are going to have a military parade. Can you imagine that image?
Okay, here it comes. Check it out.
Is going to be coming out of our country. I mean, I grew up in a dictatorship. And I don't even remember ever witnessing anything like that.
There it is. Her book says from refugee to Congresswoman, but she just admitted she grew up in a dictatorship. She never seen anything like that. So what in the hell were you fleeing? What were your parents fleeing? If you grew up in a country where there was a dictatorship, but you didn't even see anything like this, anything like what? Anything like the riots, not the protesters, because there was nothing that these people were protesting, in my opinion, okay? In the opinion of 77% of the country, that made any damn sense. So if there's no protesting in the streets, no riots, Okay, no military, but she lived in a country that she had to flee as a refugee. You see what I'm saying, people? These Democrats keep contradicting themselves. She wants everybody to feel, okay, that she lived a hard life. The same thing with AOC. The same thing with this other guy that is running. His name is Zohran Mamdani or some shit like that. Who knows? But now she's in power in Minnesota. It's gotten to the point that the Somali community doesn't even want her around, because they said she's gone way off the rails. It has nothing to do with their own people. It has nothing to do with Americans. It has to deal with bringing in a socialist, communist, Marxist, Muslim extremist, not believing in God, hating America, traitorous agenda. That's what these people are put in place for. Okay? I mean, it's insane for this woman to still be in Congress. And now in New York, where it's been nothing but illegal migrants causing crime, protests going on. When it was COVID, I mean, they had the lockdowns and all these lefties, you know, forcing people to wear a mask and show a damn badge that you got vaccinated. All this communistic shit. And now some no-name is surging in the polls that can become the next mayor. And then he has the nerve, on another interview, to criticize Eric Adams. Me personally, everybody knows where I stand with that. But saying that all of a sudden, Donald Trump fought Eric Adams until he basically bent the knee. Me, I think, is suspect. I think Eric Adams was up to no good. And President Trump said, you know what? This is how we're going to do it. I don't like it, personally. But the way I see it, he basically had one up on Eric Adams and said, this is what you're going to start doing. You will let us get in there and get all these illegal immigrants and all that. Does it mean that it's over, cut and dry for Eric Adams? No, I don't think so. Trump loves to play chess with people, especially when he knows he has the drop on them. This guy saying that he's going to stand up to President Trump no matter what. That's what New York needs. Wait till you hear what this man has in store, okay? I'm going to go to the clippings right here real quick, okay? This is him, pictures of him in of course, the Free Palestine protest. But it says Zohran Mamdani, I guess that's how you say it, spews anti-Semitic tropes, falsely claims taxpayers foot the bill for New York polls, Israel trips Jewish activists. Okay, let me maximize this a little bit. We can all see. Okay, it says Democrat Socialist mayoral candidate Zohran Mamdani is being accused of spewing anti-Semitic tropes after he falsely claimed taxpayers were footing the bill for New York lawmakers. Jewish advocates rallied at the Queens State Assembly member was insinuating Jewish polls were swindling New Yorkers to benefit Israel at their expense. The danger that Mamdani poses to Jewish freedom in New York City is palpable. Queens Councilman Rory Lantzman? Yeah, Rory Lantzman. Okay, a senior counsel at the nonprofit Louis D. Brandeis Center for Human Rights under Law. Now that's what he's saying there. Okay, that's what they're saying there about that. Mamdani, 33, made the bogus claim in recently resurfaced video from May 11, 2021, pro-Palestinian anti-Israel protest, where he also led chants of BDS, supporting the economic boycott, divestment, and sanctions movement against the Jewish state. Okay, that's the first article. The second article, okay, it shows right here that he's made it to the top of the list. He's surging to the top. for the Democrats. Okay, let me minimize just a little bit. Now, this is where it gets interesting with this guy. Okay, and mind you, in New York, in case nobody knows, voting is on the 24th, and I hope everybody's paying attention. Okay, because come the 24th, the vote in New York for mayor could make or break New York. So people need to wake up. Okay? People come out and say, well, you're not a New Yorker. Listen, once a New Yorker, always a New Yorker. And I got plenty of family and friends that I care about still in New York. And it's about the Americans. Okay, not only in New York, but all around this country that suffer. And I know a lot of people are going to say, well, you know what? If they didn't go out there and vote, shame on them. And in all honesty, I'm going to have to agree with that if that happens. I'm going to have to, because it's like, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure out that, you know what? Nothing has been good when it comes to Democrat rule in New York for decades. Just like Chicago, just like Detroit, nothing, just like LA, nothing has been good. Where are we? Mamdani, an assemblyman who has gained momentum in recent polling to catch up with favorite Andrew Cuomo, has caught backlash for his refusal to acknowledge Israel having a right to exist as a Jewish state, and his involvement in the BDS movement, which seeks to divert U.S. funding to the country. Down here, now that just shows that there was something else. Okay, a New York resident, Simone Weisschildbaum, I don't know how to say it, 43, cast a vote as early voting began on Saturday, less than 2 weeks ahead of the June 24 primary election, but walked away from the booths frustrated and concerned. As a pro-Israel Midtown East Jewish voter, I voted yesterday and was shocked to see Mamdani listed first on the long list of names mayoral candidates. You see what I'm saying, people? These are not people that the voters are voting for. These are people that are being chosen. This is where people have to stand the fuck up and say, you know what? This shit has to stop. Because if the leftists could go out there and protest, if they can let in illegal migrants, take your hard tax-paying earned money and waste it, it's time for people to stand up and say, no, this is not who we want. There is no way. Ask questions, damn it. Ask questions. Get in there. You know, Cory Booker was alright saying, okay, on camera, you got to get in their face. You got to do this. You got to do that. You know, as a person born and raised in the Bronx, I am so shocked, okay, that it just seems in all, and I'll say it, I don't care. If I lose subscribers, I don't care. That it's like all of a sudden, real New Yorkers have lost their balls. Okay? I'm not saying go out there and protest like these fools went out there and start causing havoc. I'm not saying that. But it's like every single time I turn around, there's something going on in New York. If it's not something with the Board of Education, it's something to do with a neighborhood, it's something to do with crime, it's something to do with some damn transgender crap, or some protest, or illegal migrants raping a little girl. It's like every time you turn around. And then it's just one so-called progressive leader after another one. And just in case people don't understand, all right, these are the four people at the runner-up. Cuomo, a deadbeat traitor that let people die. This dude, who's a progressive socialist, right here, down here it says, that right here, he doesn't even say, okay? They keep it quiet, okay? These are the four people. This guy right here got arrested. I'll show you the video in a minute. It's a short video. This woman, I have no clue who she is. We all know who Cuomo is, and in my opinion, the Cuomos just need to shut the hell up and go move to some cabin, some lake house cabin in like Nevada, and just forget about New York, because they've been nothing but a damn stain. From their father to their sons, that whole Cuomo dynasty is just rot. Okay. Where's his name at? Hold on, bear with me, people. I am so damn frustrated. Eric Adams, I mean, he's another one that needs to go. I don't know who these people are. Cuomo, done. We'll get to him in a second. Where is it? Is this him right here? Yeah. Right? Yeah, that's him. Okay. Where is it that I seen it? That it says he's a Democrat socialist. State Senator Murrow represents the same district in Crown Heights. No, that's not. Hold on one second. Bear with me, people. I'll get to it. Okay. Where are they? That's a clown. I know people hate clowns. There's like a phobia, so I'm sorry. Right here. The Assembly members officially filed to run for mayor on October 21st, according to the City Campaign Finance Board. He was elected to his seat in 2020 and was recently endorsed by for mayor by the New York City chapter of the Democrat Socialists of America. The Democratic Socialists of America. And he identifies as a progressive Democrat socialist. And he's a Muslim. He says it himself. He's a progressive Muslim. Okay? And in other articles, he says that he's a socialist. So what now? New Yorkers let this get away, and now you have a socialist. Another thing that he's saying that he wants to do, and I'll read it to you. And I only got the article, but I did hear him saying, you know, what was it that he wants to do? Okay. Every time I go, I hear New Yorkers talking about the outrageous prices of groceries. He told the New York Times in December, this is a bold and workable plan. Pay attention to this, people, what his plan is. Okay? Which, if this doesn't reek socialism, I have no idea. He says right here, bear with me, I don't know why I lost this whole article. I had it set up. Anyway, long story short, you guys can look it up yourselves just so I can move on. He wants to raise the minimum wage to like $30 an hour. He wants to give free, what is it, free childcare and like do rent freezes and stuff like that. The rent freeze, I will agree to that. That's about it. But they all say it. The thing that got me, and it's not just an article, look it up on video, he says it. He wants to have state-run grocery stores. Grocery stores that the state runs. Okay? Does anybody understand what kind of society lets the state run the food chain? Yeah, you're right. Socialist societies, communist societies. Which means they'll start running state-run grocery stores. They get enough of them. Then they'll go and they'll push to chop down the Grocery Store Association in New York, or what they call the Bodegas Association, bodega owners. They'll try to get rid of them just so they can control all the grocery stores. And then it becomes, I don't know, maybe a blackout in New York, and somebody has 4 kids and they're trying to get to the grocery store and say, I need 2 gallons of milk, and the state says, no, you could only have half a gallon, and it's going to cost you as much as 2 gallons. Think about it, people. He had everything going, but right in the mix, he had to throw in, people are talking about the prices of groceries. We want to have state-run grocery stores. For what purpose? If only to control the food. When people are telling people like him that the price of groceries is high, it's not for the government or the state to come in and say, we'll just take over the grocery chain. No, it's for them to come in and say, well, you know what? We need to start lowering taxes. Okay? But it's like, nope, another one. right under everybody's nose. Okay, now that's on him, and these are the people that are running for mayor. Okay, let me get back to the picture. These four. So you got the socialist, you got the traitor, whoever this woman is, don't know. This guy right here. Let's get to his video clip. Okay, where are we? Right here. Interfering with ICE, okay, to stop them from taking an illegal migrant when he came out of court. And now, as of today, earlier today, the whole mainstream media, okay, even on YouTube, all the lefties are coming out trying to spin all this around, making it seem as if, you know what? No, he was arrested, and you know the new talking point. All these masked goons, and these are Nazis, and they're snatching Americans off the street. This, and that. He didn't do anything to interfere with ICE doing their job. Really? Let's go to the videotape, and let's see how this man was acting. Here we go.
Judicial warrant. Do you have a judicial warrant? Do you have a judicial warrant? Can I see the judicial warrant? Can I see the warrant? I will let go when you show me the judicial warrant. Where is it? Sir, where is the warrant? I have my hand here. You'll shoot me. I would like to see the warrant. I want to see the warrant. No! Take it back. Take it back. You don't have the authority to arrest U.S. citizens. Sir, you don't have the authority to arrest U.S. citizens. You don't have I'm not obstructing. I'm standing right here in the hallway. I asked to see the judicial warrant. By asking the
You heard him. I'm not obstructing. I'm standing right here in the hallway. That's the MO. I'm not obstructing. I'm standing right here. How are you standing right there? The video goes all the way back to when he jumped in the middle of ICE agents and tried to stop them from grabbing the other guy that they were trying to arrest. And then he's screaming out, you don't have the authority to arrest U.S. citizens. Well, I did a little bit of searching. Okay? And I'm not going to go to the source, because I want everybody to please, especially all you lefties out there who think you're so smart. See, I'm not gonna put the link so like that you guys can say, well, that's your source. Be smart and go find the link yourself. Okay? I'll give you a little hint where it might be. It's on a government website. Okay? And in fact, it says that ICE agents, number one, okay, can arrest illegal immigrants without a warrant anywhere other than where they live. In other words, unless ICE goes to somebody's home, knocks on the door and says, we're looking for so-and-so, and so-and-so comes to the door, and ICE goes, we need to detain you. That person has the right to say, where's the warrant from the judge? If ICE doesn't have it, they cannot go into the house and arrest them unless if the person says, come in, and then ICE can go in and arrest them in there. But ICE has to let them know why they're there for. So it's not like they're going to knock on the door. The guy's going to say, oh, hey, how's it going? Come on in. It's not going to work like that. That's the only way. Okay? Every other way, be it on the street, be it at their job, be it in a restaurant, be it in the courthouse, in the hallway, it does not matter. ICE does not need a warrant from the judge to pick them up. That's number one. Number two, it also states if anybody, and just so you people know, when you go to the website, not the first chapter that explains the first part, go down to the second chapter, don't act a damn fool. In the second chapter, it specifically says if anybody interferes when ICE is trying to detain somebody, that is obstruction. They will be arrested. It doesn't say that anybody's exempt. It doesn't say the president's exempt, a judge. It doesn't say any of that. It specifically says if anyone. Okay? So this is what happened to this man today. He wants to be mayor. Really, New York? This is the mayor you want? The guy that's obstructing ICE from taking illegal migrant criminals to deport them? That's the guy you want? Or let me see. Or Cuomo, who lied and let all those old people, forgive me for being so harsh, elderly people I should say, die of COVID, supposedly? Or do you guys want the Muslim progressive socialist Democrat who wants to take over grocery stores and give control to the state over that? Is that who you guys want? Or I don't know, the other lady who I really couldn't find any information on, so I'm assuming, you know what? If she's not a black female Democrat who's been given praise, she must not align with the Democrat Party, in my opinion. I don't know, people. Am I looking at this a different way? With everything that's going on, you guys tell me. It's incredible. Like I said, just when I thought that New York had some hope. What's today? Today is the 17th, I believe, right? 15. Yeah, today's the 17th. In 7 days, one of these people, most likely the Muslim progressive socialist, will be the new mayor of New York. The only other way is that Eric Adams, and that will be a quarter of a win. Okay? But how much will change in New York? New York needs a staunch MAGA candidate in New York. And not only for mayor, but also for governor. If that dude came out and said that 20,000 votes got him, his campaign, into second place. I mean, if I went to a bar every Friday in New York for a month straight, shit, I met 20,000 people. That's how easy it is to get votes. It's infuriating. Because nobody's understanding. Look at what happened with Minnesota with their candidate. Look at what's going on. Look at Dearborn, Michigan, with the Muslim extremist communities that are out there. Matter of fact, I did a video on this a couple of months ago, where it got to the point. I believe it was in Michigan, one of the small towns, where it's all Muslim run. It is their whole, basically their whole political cabinet is all Muslim. All Muslim. Okay? I did another video on what they call Little Palestine in New Jersey. They're out there flying Palestinian flags. Okay? Look at Texas. If it was for Governor Abbott to pump the brakes, they were ready to build a Muslim city in Texas. Because they thought they could. They called it a community. Anybody could live there. What they didn't say was that in the first, the first 28 hours or 32 hours or whatever, day and a half, every plot to build a house was already bought up by a Muslim. Yeah, because they didn't go and tell the public, this is what we're building. It was going to have its own mosque, its own schools. I mean, you name it, in there, all gated up community on just hundreds of acres. But they didn't file no paperwork. They did nothing. Greg Abbott seen it and said, not only that they didn't give the go-ahead, they were like, number one, it's illegal what you're doing. Number two, they collected millions of dollars to get started. Number three, Greg Abbott said, we will not have a Muslim city within one of our cities or state, whatever the case is. And if this man gets in New York, Cuomo gets in, you already know that's a wrap. This guy definitely can't get in because all he's going to do is favor illegal immigrants. Okay, that other woman, like I said, I don't know about. But that dude who's being backed up by AOC, he gets in, it's a wrap. And I am and I'll tell you one thing right now, okay, with someone who has family and ties to Puerto Rico also. I am totally ashamed, okay, for any Boricua out there that thinks that socialism is the way to go. Okay? With everything that has been going on in Puerto Rico, everything going on in the Latino community, you know, here in, on the mainland, it's like, why, oh why would you put your vote behind a fucking socialist? I just can't. I totally can't. This is insane. But anyway, that's what I got for you folks. Don't forget to comment, like, share, subscribe, pass the channel around. And if you can help support the channel, there's a link in my description to my Cash App and my merch store. So remember, people, stay vigilant. Keep praying for each other. Keep praying for the women and the children. Pray for this country. Pray for your enemies. Pray for Donald Trump. And don't forget to pray for all the missing children that they brought across the border. Peace.